Thank you very much. You are about to meet a most fascinating gentleman. He's come to us from the Magic Castle in Hollywood, and let's get the hands together and greet him. Please, the incomparable Lenier.
Sometimes people call me a mind reader. Other times they call me a fraud. But I think most people would like to be able to do what I do, no matter how I do it. And to start with, we're going to do a trick or an experiment with a deck of cards. I'm going to have a few gentlemen, if you would please, just take a few cards and mix them up. Shuffle the cards that you hold. This way, no one person has control of the entire deck of cards. I see a few different shuffling techniques. Fine, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, sir, and thank you. And now I'd like to find a small number at random, and I think perhaps the best way to do that, sir, would you cut off about half the cards, please? You've cut to an 8. Would you please deal 8 cards from the top of your pack to the gentleman? Fine, I'll take back the rest. I'm going to ask you, sir, please, if you would, to hold those cards in front of you. Look at them, concentrate on them. I want you to see the face of every card if you can. And I think as you look at those cards, one card that you're looking at is a king of spades. Is that correct? Right. May I have that card back, please? If you will, continue to look at them, please. Let your eyes go from one end of that group across to the other. Concentrate on them. And I think one card that you see now is an ace of hearts. Is that one correct?
Right.
May I have that one back, please? Please, if you will, sir, concentrate on them, look at them. Try to see all the cards. And I think one that you look at now is a 4 of diamonds. Is that correct?
Right.
May I have that one, sir? Please concentrate on them. Look at all the cards. Let your eyes go from one end of the group to the other. Try to see all of the cards, please. And I think one that you look at now is a jack of diamonds. Is that one correct? Right. May I have that, please? Half the cards are used. Will you please look at all the cards now? Try to see them all at the same time. I seem to be picking up some confusion. I'm getting a double image. Am I correct in assuming you have both red kings, the king of hearts, and the king of diamonds? Is that correct?
Right.
May I have those back, please? There are just 2 cards left. Would you please look at both of them? Concentrate on them. And I think one that you see now is a 2 of diamonds. Is that correct?
Right.
There is just 1 card left. Is that correct, sir?
Right. Right.
You may have noticed when I first came out, I placed an envelope on the stand next to me. I'm going to ask this gentleman, please, if you would, to open up the envelope. Inside the envelope is a piece of paper. I wrote something on that piece of paper before I came to the studio this evening. I'm going to ask you, please, if you would, to take it out and read out in a nice, clear voice what I have written on that piece of paper.
The last card you look at will be the Queen of Clubs.
The last card you look at will be the Queen of Clubs. And now, if I may, I'd like to tell you of a legend. A rather strange tale that they tell in England. On the southern coast of England, on the Cornwall Peninsula, there's a large piece of stone, a large rock formation that looks very much like a man. And the natives of a nearby village call that piece of stone Elijah Milka. They say that at one time, Elijah Milka was indeed a living, breathing human being. A rather angry, cantankerous old man who spent his time going around the countryside making trouble for the villagers, fighting with them, stealing from them. One day he stole a goat. He stole a goat from a woman named Granny Magger. Granny had the reputation for being a witch. And they say that when he stole the goat from Granny, she cast a spell on him, turned him to a piece of stone. And there to this day, he still stands on the Cornwall Peninsula. And I say that because there is still so much magic in that piece of rock. If you stand with your hand touching it, you then would have powers you would not ordinarily have. I have a friend who lives in Cornwall, and he sent me a little piece of stone that he chipped from Elijah Milka. I'm going to ask you, sir, please, if you would, to hold that piece of stone, and let's try an experiment. I have another deck of cards. Again, a deck that has already been shuffled and is in no particular order. And as they are right now, sir, I'm going to ask you, please, if you would, to hold that deck of cards. I ask you, sir, please, to name any number from 1 to 52.
12.
12 is good. This deck, sir, if you would please, shuffle them thoroughly. Again, I see an overhand shuffling technique. That looks fine. Good, and if I may show the audience that indeed they are, again, mixed up and again are in no particular order. And what I'm going to do, sir, with you is turn cards face up one at a time. At some point, I want you to say stop. So I will show you cards one by one until you decide to say stop.
Stop.
Right there. You could have said stop on any of these cards. You said stop right at this point. Would you please hold that card? Don't look at it yet. Just hold on to it. You, sir, have been holding the red deck of cards. The reason you have been holding them is so that in no way could I touch them or do anything with them. You named a number, sir. That number was?
12.
12. I'm going to ask you, please, to deal the top 11 cards into my hand face up one at a time so the audience can see every card. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The 12th card, would you please give to this gentleman again? Do not look at it just yet. I'll take back the rest. 2 decks of cards. You said number 12. The 12th card in your deck happens to be the Ace of Hearts. You shuffled the blue deck. And while you were holding onto that piece of stone, I showed you one card at a time. At one point, you had an impulse to say stop. On what card was that impulse, sir? The Ace of Hearts. I'll take back the stone. You know, that might have been just a coincidence. Or perhaps, just perhaps, the people in Cornwall know something that we don't. We're going to try one more experiment. If I may just get these cards out of the way momentarily. And I'm going to show you some envelopes. As a matter of fact, there are 5 envelopes. And they are numbered from 1 to 5. There's number 5, there's number 4, number 3, number 2, and number 1. And I think, sir, you can see that from where you're sitting that there is something inside of each envelope.
That's right.
What those are, you do not know.
No.
I do. 4 of them are expendable. 1 I do not want to see destroyed. And so the challenge I have set for myself is this: to mentally control 4 people to burn 4 envelopes and leave 1 particular envelope for me. And so as you burn the envelopes, if you would return to your seats in the audience, and let's start with you, sir. If you would please come on up. There's the lighter. Which one should we burn first? Number 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5?
3.
Number 3 right here in the center. Would you light it, please, sir? Okay, I have to hold it down. That's it. That's envelope number 1. That does get hot. I'll take back the lighter. If you'd return to your seat, I thank you very much for your help, sir. Spectator number 2, if you would, please. Which one next?
Number 4.
1, 2, 3 was there. This is number 4, if you would, please. As they say in the vernacular of the day, waste it. Was there any particular reason that you selected number 4?
No,
If you had a choice for number 3, would you have taken that one instead?
I don't know.
You don't know. I thank you again for your help. You return to your seat, please. Sir, if you would. 3 envelopes remain. Which one goes next? Number 1, number 2, or number 5? Number 1, right here on the end. If you would, please. That's good. Did you pick that particular one because it happened to be on the end?
That was easier to get at.
Pardon?
Easier to get at.
Easier to get at. Okay, fine. Thank you very much, sir. One person is left. If you would, sir. Which one goes next?
Number 1.
Well, one is already destroyed. I have number,
number
2.
two.
Number 2.
Sorry.
Number 2 and number 5 are the ones that are left. If you would, let it go. There it is. I notice you named number 1. Would you rather have had number 1 if you had a choice if it had been there?
Yeah, I guess so.
You guess so, but you settle for number 2.
Right.
Would you return to your seat? I thank you very much. 1 envelope left. Did I accomplish what I set out to do? I will tell you now what was in every envelope. Every envelope had a piece of paper. 4 of them were blank. 1 has a picture on it. That picture happens to be a picture of President Ulysses S. Grant on an American $50 bill. And before I go, I'd like to leave you with one final thought, and that is be very careful what you think. Somebody might just be listening.
Jules Lenier, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Jules. That was truly amazing, wasn't it? It's almost eerie being around him. You think he's reading your mind all the time. We'd also like to thank, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ron Wilson in particular. There you go, Ron. In particular, Ron, thank you very much for your outstanding presentation of the rising cards. And we'd like to thank each and every one of you for watching the Magic Palace. You've been a wonderful audience. Goodbye, everyone.